Good morning, it's Leanne Peters here. I'm from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on Facebook and Temple of Balance on YouTube. And I'm here to create a space of healing and support that I trust resonates with you. We won't know till we do it because I don't know what I'm going to do yet. But welcome. I'm coming to you live now from Tasmania, Australia, where it is Sunday the 5th of May here, 2024. And the time is... Oh, I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. The time is 9:03 a.m. 9:03 a.m. So it's very foggy outside. No wind, but the sun wants to peek through, so it's going to be, I think, a nice day. So welcome. I want to send out a big extra special welcome to my Temple of Balance patrons, my Pillar of Light members, and all of those of you who support my work through my website. Thank you so much for your support. So my plan is different to my usual Power Day of the Month healing events, because I do try and get here on the Power Day of each month. That is the 5th of the 5th, the 1st of the 1st, the 11th of the 11th. Over this last year or so, I think I've only been able to connect in a couple of times, but that's just the way my life is right now. I'm not sort of hanging around all the time. I'm very busy doing things, though I was busy before. But anyway, my plan is I do actually want to light a candle in honour of our loved ones. So I'm going to light a candle probably very soon. Then I've got some sage here. I'm going to be doing some smudging with some sage. So we'll be working with some smoke. I'm really feeling drawn just in this last sort of 12 to 24 hours. I've been very much drawn to sort of ritual, you know, candle lighting, lighting incense, perhaps playing some music or just connecting and sort of savouring, using sort of ritual, just small ritual to savour moments. There's a lot of sacredness present at the moment, and it feels like ritual, whether it be just lighting a candle or lighting some incense, stepping out into nature, just stopping, sitting and breathing with no background noise, no TV or whatever on. I just feel that there's something very sacred I'm very interested in at the moment, which is another reason that actually draws me here to do this video, is I want to create a bit of a ritual that can help us savour and embody these sacred moments that hopefully a lot of us are feeling, but at least some of us are feeling. So I've got candle to light, smudge stick to smudge, and I've got my singing bell here this morning to do a little bit of singing bell sound. So it's not going to be like my usual power day healing events. I'm going to just flow with those things. I'm also going to work with my healing energy cards. So I'm just going to really trust my intuition guiding us through and see what happens. I'll be here for about 15 or 20 minutes, and hopefully you enjoy the time that we spend together today. So if you can and you have time and you're in a position to, if you're not driving or in the middle of your shift at work, then hopefully you can kick off your shoes and relax wherever you might be, or find somewhere to relax. Or if you can't right now, maybe you can come back and connect with the video later and find 15 minutes or 20 minutes to relax and really receive and connect in with the energy that's present at the moment. So welcome Rhonda, welcome Karen, welcome everybody. I think I'm going to start by lighting a candle. So I want to light a candle in honour of our loved ones in spirit. These will be the most recent of departed loved ones. This could be family, but it could be friends. So I feel like it just feels nice and important to honour them at this time. So I'm going to light a candle, and I encourage you to give some thought to, or send some thought out to, or feel in your heart your loved ones in spirit. So from your most recent loved ones departed, right back through to the ones that you remember perhaps earlier in your life. And then maybe extend your thoughts back to those that you didn't know, maybe grandparents or great-grandparents or people further back than that, our ancestors. So I'm going to light this candle and keep it going until the end of the video. So take a nice big breath and start thinking about your loved ones. Whenever you're ready, send them love, feel them around. So we have our candle alight. So I'm just going to take 3 nice big breaths without speaking and use this as a time to think about our loved ones in spirit. And we might even think about calling them forward. Well, when we think about them, we call them forward anyway. So I'm going to take 3 nice big breaths. I'm going to breathe out all the air from my body first. And then I'm going to start counting 3 deep, big breaths from there. And I encourage you to join me if you're not driving or doing anything where you can't really do that right now. So take a nice, breathe all the air out. And sometimes we might not see them, our loved ones, or our spiritual team close by, but sometimes we just need to trust that they're there. Just by us thinking about them brings them closer. So now that our loved ones are close to us, is there anything that you need to ask of them? Is there anything that you're worried about, that you need help with? Are there health concerns that you're trying to work through, or other life things that you can just send a little thought or a little question, a little request, a little prayer for help? And trust they're around. I'm going to keep the candle going until the end of this video. So it feels nice now. It feels like there's something very nourishing that's come forward, that of our loved ones in spirit and our memories and feelings and connections with them. Feels very nourishing, you know, a reminder that we're not alone while we're going through whatever it is we're dealing with right now. So I'm going to pull a healing energy card, and then I'm going to light my smudge stick, and we'll do some clearing with the smudge stick. So I've got my healing energy cards here. I've got my 2 decks combined, Healing Energy Cards Deck 2, that's my latest deck from last year, and Healing Energy Cards Deck 1, which are my upgraded very first deck from 2008. So I've got these combined to make 110 cards, and I'm shuffling the cards and asking the cards for the best card that we need now as we move into our time of clearing with the smudge stick, with the sacred smoke. So nice big breath, and the best card the majority of us need, I trust, is this. It's from the first deck, and just for anyone who's new, I encourage you to take on board what feels right and let the rest go. And I do trust that you've been led here for a reason, and I trust and hope that something supports you that's shared at this time. So, hi Maria, welcome. We have this card, Self-Love, card 7. So this card and all of the healing energy cards now have categories, and this card's in the rest category. So it's suggesting something wants to slow down, something wants to quiet within us. This is card 7, self-love, and down here it says, spend time in reflection, silence, or solitude to help you connect with who you are. Make time to ground, meditate, or create, support, and love. And you know, there's something very quiet about this particular energy. And I remember when I drew this, it was inspired by meditation. A lot of meditations I did, especially a few years ago, I'd imagine myself sitting on the top of a bank, looking out into the bay next to this big old gum tree, and I'd be creating. So I'd have my art pad and I'd just imagine painting the view and connecting in that way. And that was just a meditation that I went through in my own mind. And then I did this a lot of times. And then one particular time I did this, the sky turned into like a ceiling, and this pair of golden hands came down from the ceiling and scooped me up into this other world. So that's what's represented here, the golden hands swooping me up into this other world here. And it was a world that looked like it had domed buildings that were sort of translucent white, kind of pinky tinge maybe, but they were all domed. And I couldn't see anybody, I couldn't see any other beings up there, but I could sense that I wasn't alone. And I was drawn to this main building like a hall or a temple. And I went inside, and in there was like a bed or a couch or somewhere to lay down. And I laid there and just received a lot of love, you know, just a lot of energy to support and strengthen at that particular time. So it left such a mark on me that I created an artwork, and then it's turned into this card. And it just feels like so much love that's coming in. And it's funny actually doing that connection with our loved ones earlier, because I don't think I've ever really done that in a video. And then to have this card come up, which is just so full of love that's coming in, is quite spectacular. So there is a groundedness to this card. There is something slow moving, something that we settle into. There is a higher force, a higher power, if you like, of love and connection that's coming through, but also remembering our roots. You know, our roots in the physicality, our roots in our physical body and our physical life. And maybe this is a really good time, and some of us might be feeling this showing up in our life, a really good time to find our roots and to just take stock of where we find ourselves and where how our life has twisted and turned and plonked us to be in this moment. And do we need to integrate? Do we need to take stock of where we find ourselves? Do we need to make some time to just stop and breathe and sort of get our bearings on all that's changed in these last months? That might be something that's coming up too with this card. But I'm going to keep this out. Hi Veg, hi Lindsay. I'm going to keep this card out while I light my sage stick. So I've got my sage here, which is reasonably well used. And I've got my matches, and I'm clearly not a smoker or anything, because I'm really, what we say, unco with the matches, which is uncoordinated. So just bear with me a moment. Maybe take some deep breaths, and I'll just get this going. And, you know, I think of the smudge stick as a time of clearing, and so it could be good to clear those things that are the opposite mostly of what I was just talking about. Maybe we've been just so busy that we haven't had time to stop and take stock of our life and who we are and where we find ourselves and what's changed. So I have my sage here. I'm going to just take some deep breaths and invite you to imagine that this sacred smoke is washing over your body and carrying away with it all negative energies, entities, cords, hooks, attacks, and attachments. These might be attachments that we have to other things. It could be to our phone, to other people, to the past. to material things, to the future? Is there something, or what? I'll be very surprised if we have nothing, but what are we feeling attached to? What can we not do without? And maybe think about detaching or cutting some cords if there are some attachments that you're noticing at the moment. And think about breathing out and letting go. So as you breathe out, imagine breathing out all of that old air from your body. Breathe out all the old stuff, your wounds, your past, your hurt, that you have been attached to, and let it go. And as you breathe in, replace that old air with the new. So breathing in the new and true, and breathing out your pain and suffering. And let it go. Be willing to let go, to surrender to this moment, to surrender to the love that's around you, to surrender to the sacredness of now, and let go. And it is safe for you to let go. We can also imagine this sacred smoke going over our loved ones that we may be concerned about, our possessions like our home or our car, our vehicle, or the home and vehicle of our loved ones. For our peace of mind, we can imagine this kind of shield of protection going around those people and those important aspects to keep us safe and to keep our loved ones safe. And so it is. So thank you. I'm just going to snuff out my stick, and then I'm going to pull another card, and we'll go into some time with the singing bell. Okay, so if you just joined in, I was smudging with this card in mind, self-love. So I'm going to pop that back in my deck, and I'm going to pull another card. So I prepare to now move into the singing bell. The singing bell tends to be quite uplifting, so it's probably important that we've done a bit of the candle and the smudging and sort of this almost a feeling of groundedness that's come in, because the singing bell will help uplift us. So the best card for the majority of us as we prepare to move into the singing bell and listen to this beautiful sound is this. It's from the first deck also, and it's Manifest, card 54. This one is in the action category. So this talks about movement, getting out there, getting things happening, being productive, focusing, giving attention to that kind of thing. Down here it says, bring your ideas and your projects into reality. What you are creating is manifesting. Take action, birth the new in physical form, transformation, and abundance. So this is bringing things in. So when I say bringing things in, I'm thinking ideas, intentions, inspirations, plans. You know, these things start off quite out there, usually, and then they pop into our mind as like an idea, and then the idea kind of refines in some way. Sometimes it clears and goes, because not all ideas are worth acting upon, and it's up to us, I feel, to discern and question and consider these ideas, to pick the ones that are ripe and pick the ones that fit best with us and our life. I used to think that every idea was like an apple in the tree and I just want to pick it, and I'd be thirsty and I'd be running on these ideas, because I thought if I'm having an idea, then it must be something I need to manifest, and then it just becomes too much. So there's only so many, especially as you get older and you get settled into parts of your life, then you have less room for a bunch of ideas. So as I've got older, I've realised that I'm not going to take all the ideas. In fact, 95% of them can just go, they can just become compost and fertiliser for the ideas I really want to pick, the ideas that are rich for me and have the most potential for me, that I'm really interested in bringing into my life, and just let the others drop to the ground and become that fertiliser for what I do want to plant in my life. So then I pick and choose the ripest of apples and the most potential of apples and ideas to bring into form. And to bring something into form tends to require action. So when we're writing a book, we have an idea and we sit with it for a bit or whatever is appropriate, and then it requires action. We've got to write every single word. We've got to edit over and over again. We've got to refine this book on the screen nowadays before we can get it printed and held in our hand. The same with these cards. These started as an idea and something I was curious and felt a pull to do. And then it took about 4 years to get these into form, and then they've still been refined several times. This is the 4th print run of these cards. So over the last years, 16 years or whatever it's been, 14 years, I've refined these and refined these and refined these. So that's the manifestation. That's the tangible nature of whatever the idea is that we then figure out how to bring into form depending on whatever it is. That's what manifestation is. How can we bring that apple, that idea, into form in our life? Do we even want to bring it into form in our life? And that's something I think when we feel more confident in ourselves, perhaps we feel less insecure to take all the apples and all the ideas, and maybe we feel more confident and comfortable and patient to be able to pick the idea that we want to bring down, but also wait for the idea to brew and become the biggest, juiciest, ripest apple there on the tree for us to pluck, and then figure out how to bring it into form. So what have you got going on in your life that you're manifesting? Now, it could be something you don't want to bring into your life that's manifesting anyway. So it might mean that there's a discordance or a balance issue that's taking place. Maybe your head has been not so clear, and so whatever ill intentions we put out there too, we also manifest, and more unconsciously. So what's manifesting for you now, or what idea are you bringing into form now in your life? This might be something for you to give some thought to, or feel upon, or sit in while you're listening to the bell. I'm just going to check the time. Oh, I'm not going to play the bell for long because I've been talking for too long and I have to go shortly. So I'm going to play this for like 1 minute. This is the singing bell. It's Tibetan, and I've taken the ringer out. I'm going to hold it this way. Let's take a nice big breath. And it feels like the singing bell brings a lot of clarity with it. You know, like a clarity of what's the best apple to pick, a clarity of what have we manifested in our life that's showing up now that is not really what we want, or not really what we need, or not really working for us. And what do we need to change about usually our thinking or our behaviour, perhaps an attitude, in bringing that into form into our life, or keeping it in play, that may need to be looked at. So I feel a clarity coming in, a clarity to see this idea manifestation process perhaps a little bit more clearly, or see what our underlying intention is behind what is manifesting. So if you just joined in, I was playing the bell with the manifest card 54. So that's that. Thank you for joining me today. I am going to pull a card to go. Before I do, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. If you have enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button. Please show us some love. Please comment or share if you're inspired to. And if you'd prefer to connect more privately, then please send us a message through our website. If you'd like to learn more about my healing energy cards or the work that I do here at Temple of Balance, then please visit my website at templeofbalance.com.au. Thank you very much. I am now pulling a card to go very quickly. So the best card that the majority of us need as we move forward from here. How can we take this energy now into our life in a practical and real way? So the best card for what's next is from the second deck. Whoops. And it's this. This is blunt and very direct and very clear. It's card 90 that says, reminds us to tell the truth. It's in the rise category, so that's more of an uplifting feeling, and it's reminding us to be honest. It says, be clear and honest. Speak up. Use your voice. Don't speak on behalf of others. Speak for yourself. No excuses. Sing, throat chakra, let it out, and express yourself. So this is very clear. Maybe there's something that we need to do moving forward from here that requires us to speak up, to tell the truth. Now, this could be in relationship to another person or other people we need to be honest with, but it is most likely a reminder for us to start, if we haven't been doing this for a while, to start by being honest with ourselves. How do we really feel in this situation? How do we really feel with this? And really paying attention to how we really feel. Writing in our journal can be helpful to help us figure out what our truth is. It's very difficult to speak the truth to others if we're not feeling the truth in ourselves. So if you want to connect deeper with this energy and space, then maybe making time to really connect with the honesty of who we are and the honesty of our situation can be valuable. So that's that. Tell the truth. So thank you very much. I'm going to blow out our candle and thank our loved ones in spirit for joining us today. So thanks for joining me too, and I'll hopefully see you again soon. Thank you. Bye.